We share these moments now letting a certain quietness be our experience, a stillness perhaps, because this is natural in the sanctuary. Noah built an ark. This was presumably supposed to have been the form of a boat. We're not interested in what happened then, but what's happening now. Because there certainly is something to be created. We could call it an ark if we don't think of that as a boat. And if we don't think of it in terms of form, there is something to be created. And we ourselves have found ourselves drawn together to participate, as we claim, in a creative process. Something is to be created. What? Most people think of it simply as a body of people who get along together. Now, there may be a body of people who get along better than most, but that is not the end and aim of things. There is something to be created. I suppose we might call it a vibrational ark, a sanctuary. I've spoken of this dome as being the setting for a sanctuary. But the sanctuary is here only because we bring it, if we bring it. So it is something not quite so tangible as this dome, for instance. It is necessary that there should be a flesh body of people drawn together in order that there might be generated, by reason of that fact, the vibrational substance of the ark. The ark is not a physical form, insofar as the present experience is concerned. It may have been in the past. We don't really know that. They tried to dig it up out of Mount Ararat. But if that has any meaning at all, it is because it's applicable now in relationship to present experience. And I just used the words which I read because there is the application immediately. We're well aware of the violence and corruption, the destructiveness that is present all around. Why? Well, because of the evil imaginations of men's hearts, that's all. That's what produced it. It's not going to go away without the evil imaginations of men's hearts going away. That seems obvious. Scarcely anyone has looked at it, though, apparently. We're going to manipulate forms, and that'll fix everything up. Without letting any change come in human experience. Well, we're concerned to let the change come in ourselves. We can't let it come in somebody else. You can't even make it come in somebody else. Did you ever try? It's a lost cause. Even if you succeeded, how awful that would be. Someone made in your image and likeness. Oh. No. There is a vibrational form, if you could put it that way, body to be generated. In order for it to be, it must have the vibrational substance to be. And that vibrational substance can only be generated out of the flesh bodies of human beings. Human beings are useful in that regard. They're not useful in all the things that they think they're useful about, but in the generation of this substance. We call it substance, vibrational substance. You can't get your hands on it. You can't manipulate it. But it will take form according to the design that is present in that level of being into which the substance is generated. It takes spiritual form, I suppose you could say. If you want to describe it, we have to use words out of our language in order to describe things. It's difficult because there haven't been any words to do it, because it hasn't been done. Nobody knows what it is, so there are no words for it. We have to use analogies in one way or another to begin to be acquainted with what it is that happens. There is an ark, a vibrational ark, taking form. Generated because there are those who have been drawn together by Spirit to participate in the process. The process involves changes occurring in one's own human nature. And as those changes occur, vibrational substance is generated. And that vibrational substance accommodates the design in Spirit. There is something recorded that I remember it in one of the Gospels, Matthew, I guess, in connection with the gathering of the elect from one end of the heaven to the other. Doesn't say from one end of the earth to the other, but from one end of the heaven to the other. That is, in the field of this vibrational substance. If there has been a generation of this substance, it is because it has been resonant to the radiation which is present by reason of the focus of the Spirit of God on earth. As that has been present, there has been the radiation, and wherever there was substance in anyone which would resonate with that, they have been drawn. If you have genuinely been drawn here, it is because of that. It is not because, well, I decided to come. That's what human beings, the sort of attitude that people take, because they want to preserve their own supposed freedom, as they think of it. I decided to come, so that's why I'm here. Big me. I'm capable of doing this. A little humility would help. No, if there is a genuine coming together, it is not because anyone decided to do it. It is because of a substance present in one's own makeup which resonated with the radiation proceeding from the focus of Spirit on earth. When there is that, something begins to be drawn together. May seem to be a slow, tedious process. I know over the years I've thought that from time to time, but it's the only way to go. Nothing else works. So stay with it. Be consistent. Not just for a week. Well, I'll see if it works. Won't on that basis. But because one couldn't do anything else. One holds that consistency over the years for however long is necessary. And behold, there is substance, amazingly, present in some human beings, which begins to resonate with that radiation. And the substance begins to come home. That doesn't necessarily mean that a person in Brazil jumps onto an aircraft and comes to Sunrise Ranch. The substance comes home wherever a person is. He doesn't really have to move. You may find that in the process of that substance coming home, the flesh has to move a bit too. Evidently, quite a bit of flesh was moved to be here today, not only in the dome, but in these other locations as well. But if it is a genuine coming, it is because of that resonance, and not because the individual imagines that he decided that he would come. Ultimately, we discover that one can't stay away. And again, I'm not talking necessarily about physical location, but stay away from the focus of spirit on earth through which that radiation comes. Then we find a relatedness to that, which is natural to each one. But it only happens because there is a substance already present to start with, and because there is subsequent increase of the generation. And that is the building of the ark. That is where we live and move and have our being. And we're no longer so concerned with external form. That's what most people fuss about, isn't it? I don't get along with so-and-so. Why? Because they rub me the wrong way. The external form of things. But you come back to spirit, and the substance that is resonating, and we discover that we all fit together. We're not all the same, but we all fit together. There is a design. There is an ark, in other words. There is an ark created of this vibrational substance, which is where we belong. Do you think anything is going to be preserved in the realm of form as we know it now? If you're stuck in the realm of form, you're stuck in something that is not going to be preserved. There is no safe place in the realm of form. This has been true all along, actually, but it seemed as though, in the past at least, one could dig a hole in the ground and hide oneself for a while. But we are discovering now that the fact is there is no safe place in the realm of form. That puts everybody on the spot. Because if you imagine the only safety is in the realm of form, you're sunk. The safe place is the ark. And the ark is a vibrational ark. And when we are familiar in our living with this vibrational ark, there we are. There we are, even though we may still at the moment be in form. People are beginning to see that this planet is shot. It's not going to be able to support human beings in the way they are accustomed to anymore. At least that point is in the offing, not very far away. One could compare that to the flood, I suppose. No place of safety except in the ark. Of course, that's an analogy. But this is the reality now. This is the ark now, which is being generated, or the substance for it is being generated, that the design of it may appear. And we find ourselves in certain relationships because of that. Because of the vibrational design, not because of physical form. We cling to physical form, we will find that we pass away. If we are at home in the vibrational ark, that does not pass away. And this relates to this matter of what they call today, I believe, isn't it, one of the days, harmonic convergence. There must be a place to converge. And that place doesn't exist because of something occurring in the galaxy. No, obviously, there are things occurring in the galaxy, things occurring in the solar system, things occurring all over. But the place of convergence only exists when there are those present on Earth, now in physical form, but at the same time in vibrational form, so there is a place of convergence. And certainly we have discovered, it's nothing new, the idea of harmonic convergence, is it? We have discovered ourselves being drawn in various ways into various configurations of people who don't usually get along too well, to start with at least, but to the extent that they're not so hooked on form, they begin to find that they do have a natural association. They do blend together. They are part of one thing which already exists, but which hasn't been known because there has been no vibrational substance to accommodate it. Now, in generating that vibrational substance, we begin to accommodate it. But if we keep reverting back into this business of reacting to what's happening in form, then out we go. We're overboard. We're no longer in the ark. Because the ark is a vibrational ark, composed of vibrational substance. And we find that it has a very specific design, just as apparently that old wooden ark had back there. So we share this opportunity in this moment to be together in the sanctuary which we ourselves bring, where this vibrational substance is present and spirit reigns supreme.